this is chapter 2 of my moderation. And I think the topic is, it kind of seamlessly blends into something which we discussed, and very important part of it, the faculty crunch, recruiting and retaining top talent. Uh, I think one of the bigger challenges is, as we also discussed, that a lot of faculty comes from like they are doctorates, so they complete their doctorate and they just join, and without any formal training. Uh, this is the trend. Of course, you have industry veterans also, but does it really work? That is the main issue. Uh, let me start with you, Dr. Thomas, once again. Is there really a crunch in the engineering teaching side? If there are challenges, what are those big challenges that you have seen on a practical level?
Thank you once again. Um, in olden days, I mean when I was young and a B.Tech student, I wanted to be a teacher, an engineering teacher, and I was the topper of the university. Kerala University, I was the gold medalist. And during that era, many of the toppers, they went to teaching. They opted for teaching. But now, if I go to a class of 100 and ask how many of you want to teach, I may find none or maybe one. So this clearly shows the crunch in faculty, especially in engineering, where there is a problem. So it is real, and I'm sorry to say, the faculty we recruit, see, elite institutions may not have a problem because their students go abroad or go acquire a degree and come back. But then when you talk about tier 2 and tier 3 institutions, who are the teachers? It's a big question. Are they qualified? I mean, they are qualified, but then are they real teachers? Are they coming to teaching out of passion, or they are coming as a job seeker? They just want to earn some money. That's the trend I have seen over the years. So there is a crunch, there is a problem everywhere. In elite institutions, 40%, in today's newspaper also, 40%, 50% faculty positions are vacant. So there is a real crunch.
Right. Dr. Bansal, attracting top talent, remains a challenge. What strategies do you adopt that, your faculty is in tune with what's happening in the industry, and they are really relevant? They are not just qualified, but convincing and relevant.
It's a very important question and very important topic you have kept, how to retain the best talent. See, for retaining the best talent, you have to be the best university. You must have the best infrastructure, flexibility. Even in Benett, if you see, from the day it has incepted and the way, from the day one when we recruited the faculty, till now there is no biometric. Not having biometric, that means a lot of flexibility, autonomy we have given to our faculty, and by giving these kind of faculty, we could retain the best talent. Otherwise, if you see in India, there are 1,000 plus university and colleges. Everybody has started. They are always ready to put cost on the infrastructure, but they think 10 times when they're going to hire faculty. When it comes to increment, they're not interested to give increment. When it comes to salary, they're not in a position to give the best salary. And in Benett, by giving the best infrastructure, best flexibility, even now in computer science, I have hired 300 faculties. And I have closed recruitment because I have got faculty more than what I require by giving average 12 hours load. That means there is no crunch of faculty. Best faculty always look for best environment, best culture, and that is what everybody wants to go to government, because there are a lot of safety, security, flexibility, and they want to see their career growth. Let's say if I have hired the best talent They are looking for an opportunity where they'll be giving freedom, they'll be given respect, and regular increments are there. So even in Benett, what I have seen as a best practice is where there's no time, you have 12 hours load, you can come anytime, go anytime. And with that, we have seen iteration rates are very, very low. And faculty from all over India, they are always interested to come to Benett. Only reason because there is a lot of autonomy, respect and regard which has been given. And with that, I'm sure if these kind of strategy will be followed, we can always hire, recruit the best faculty. And even now we are getting faculty from outside country also, because we want to give them the best education, not nationally, internationally. And those international faculty who are well qualified, they are also not interested that they should come at 9 and go at 6. And I have seen in many universities where faculty is free after 5. But still, they are just standing in front of biometric machine that it should become 6. If it is 5:45, they are going to get half day. So these are the policy which we feel there has to be a full respect to the faculty. And if it is not in those kind of institutions, always there will be a crunch.
I think also, culturally speaking, I think the way we have always portrayed the faculty is somebody very strict, not flexible, I think that also is changing with times, right? I think the faculty is supposed to be flexible, open, accommodating, right?
See, faculties are always flexible. It is give and take. If I say you come from Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, then you call them on Saturday, they may not be interested. Because one side you are very strict, other side you want flexibility. So it is vice versa. If you give them flexibility and if you ask them to come on Saturday, Sunday sometime, if there is, let's say, there is some workshop, there is some faculty development, there are some value-added courses which we are running. As you rightly said, there are a lot of training required by the faculty by which students can be industry ready. We have done on Saturday and Sunday. And faculty voluntarily, they have taken those kind of tasks because through flexibility, they are in a position to manage their personal and professional. So it is doable.
Right. I'll come to you, Dr. Gupta. After some time, let me go to Dr. Tiwari here, I think in a country with a population of India, I don't think crunch would really be there. It's more of maybe, are you qualified enough? Are you having the right skills to teach, Dr. Tiwari, what is your experience of the faculty that is available? Do their skill sets mean that there is crunch, or they can be molded into a good faculty if you provide the right cultural environment to them? What is your observation of?
And the discussion previous to this also and this one also, that it really mapped onto the real challenges that we are facing right now into the industry. Faculty crunch, what I feel nowadays, the dynamics of the industry has been changing from traditional teaching towards the facilitator side. From the previous session, we heard that word facilitator. I used to say that in the terms of enablers. So we are not only, the faculties are not only to depart or cater the information or give that information, disseminate that information or knowledge. Rather, it's more than that now. Connecting with students, putting them into the right perspective to the industry orientation side. At what pace industry is working, they should know that part in their classrooms. Then there are so much social pressures also, how to mentor that. So this is not a single facet kind of role. So in that sense, if I see, as per my working experience of last 2 decades, the role has been changed very drastically. To fulfill the requirements, you can fulfill, as we heard previously also, we can fulfill the requirements. But having the right set of attributes into the faculty and having them into the pool, that's a challenge. So there I can see that there is a crunch, first thing. Then second thing, we should understand that the mindset of the organizations, they should be coming up with this mindset, okay, you have got the best talent from some tier 1 organizations, but they were the research scholars, they have done some PhDs, they have done some previous teachings, but the dynamics of every organization is being changed. So organization, management and leadership has to come up with such kind of enabling the things which are required, which will be useful for their working. There the dissemination, trainings, and imparting them the right skill set which is required, that need to be given to these kind of candidates. So I can see that the change happens with time. That may take some time also. So due to which thing these faculties have become very good assets for the organizations, and we want to keep them with us. And that change just generally takes 3 to 5 years time, and we try to give them that kind of trainings, and we see that change happens with time, because they also goes from their job to a career path, and that takes time. And I can see that change happening from my last 2 decades.
Wonderful. Let me go to Dr. Gupta at this moment. Dr. Gupta, the faculty that teaches engineering, of course, and if you see their counterparts in the industry outside, I think they get paid even more than that. So in that scenario, when they have a chance to go in the industry, why should they come to teaching? First of all, how do you really entice these people to not go for a big tech company, but to work with them? I mean, what are the bigger challenges practically there? Just want to understand from you.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. In fact, yes, there is a challenge, but when I talk about tier 2 and tier 3 companies and cities, the girls, basically, women part, they would like to go in teaching because some people are passionate, but some it is the convenience part. They want to go in teaching, but at the same time, when they are in teaching without any industry background, we have to take them towards the faculty development programs. As Dr. Thomas was talking about, that there is no particular teaching skills given to the faculty members. So in that case, we as tier 2, since I am from tier 2 or tier 3 city, Madhya Govind, Gadliya, Chandigarh, so we have to focus on that. Yes, the BTech graduates, the MTech people, they would like to go in the industry, but there are people, because of certain their constraints or passion, they go back to teaching. Some go back for there are career progressions, they go outside as well. But the people who are interested in teaching can be taken into teaching with good skills, with the industry updates, with the faculty development programs. So there is a challenge, but I won't say that this is such a big challenge. Maybe in tier 1 cities, because of the easy availability of the corporate sector within the system, maybe if we talk about NCR, it is quite easy. But a person from Mandi Govindgarh, Khanna, or I'm talking about my side, they people moving to Delhi, it's a big stuff. Chandigarh, it is done. There is a industrial focal points are there and industrial hubs are there, but still, we don't find it this much difficult actually. So we don't take it as a challenge. Challenge is keeping the faculty as faculty with good mindset, teaching mindset, and developing them towards that. That may be a challenge which has to be taken up.
I want to come, Dr. Bansal. I'll start with you here. My second question, which is maybe this is an oversimplified way of looking at things, but isn't the money part the differentiator here? For example, if you make the industry counterparts, they're earning more than the faculty, If you put it the other way around, do you think that is going to address the talent crunch? I'm just trying to understand from you.
Even nowadays, if you see in academics also, salaries are very good. With seventh pay, you'll find salaries are at par with industry. Even in industry, we are getting a lot of call from industry persons. They want to join academia because there are a lot of flexibility, autonomy, respect, regard has been given, which they are still finding very difficult to get into industry. Let's say industry give them 20%, 30% extra, but still they are finding very difficult to manage their personal and professional life. And they always feel that there could be an option. If they can get with industry background, they can come in academia. So now it has been changed because as a private university, we are fixing our fees. With that, we can always pay better salary. There are always margin to give that salary. So I'm sure with that, even we can attract. And now recently, new option has been given, which is professor of practice, which we are also practicing in Benett now, where 10 to 20% curriculum we are asking industry person to teach. And that always help, as Madam has told, that these faculties are not industry oriented. Let's say I have hired faculty, almost 90% are from IITs, top researchers, but still they have to teach what exactly required by the industry. They have to make students industry ready. So what we have done by getting industry as a part of our teaching pedagogy, it always help faculty to interact with them, understand what exactly their expectations are there. And with that, we have seen it has really helped faculty also to understand what is there in industry. And parallelly, if you see, there are an option of value-added course which has been given. Even there is a marks which has been given even in NAC also, where we can teach courses which are not part of curriculum also. Let's say there are a lot of company nowadays coming. Last semester, I got call from ServiceNow, Dr. Bansal, we need so many persons who are trained in ServiceNow, but there is no college who is teaching ServiceNow. So we said, okay, fine. If you need that, you let me know what is that process. So they have come, they have trained the trainer, and with that, with these trainers, we have trained hundreds of students, and they're getting average salary of 34 lakhs plus. So that means there are options, there are windows by which we have to plug our curriculum and see how those kind of flexibility has been given. If we are not in a position to hire all industry persons, their involvement, as she rightly said, we are already taking their feedbacks in our curriculum and trying to see what industry aspects students should prepare according to that requirement, and they should be made industry ready. Apart from this, there are a lot of online modes are available nowadays. Let's say we have Coursera licenses. In Benett, I have taken 1,000 plus Coursera licenses for which I am putting 70-80 lakh rupees per annum. And these licenses are for faculty also, for students also, where they are going and doing extra courses, which are not only being taught by Indian faculty, faculty from outside India, who more than 5, 6, 7 decades they are into teaching, were top ranked universities. So these kind of environment which we are giving to the students, it's really making a big difference. And with that, we are always in a position to fulfill our objective.
Right. Can I request some silence in the room, please? I can hear people more than I hear my, panelist here. Professor Thomas, passion we discussed in the beginning. Passion is important component of a great faculty. What do you observe? How many people come to teach out of passion, and how many come to it because this is just one of the options they got it?
That's what precisely I was telling, that, we should start. I've been discussing with the Ministry of Education also that we should start maybe a cadre for teachers, to attract passionate people into teaching. Why not? Especially in classes when you go, because if you see NEP, NEP wants to bring back teacher as the most respected person in society, which was the case when we were young. Teachers were most respected. So that respect has to come back. Professor mentioned about the pay package. Thanks to 7th Pay Commission, it's good now. But then how do we communicate it to the students that, teaching is a good option? So wherever I go, I tell the students, whether it's a conference or a meeting or a class, I tell them become teachers, because teaching is the best profession, because you are, with youngsters all the time, you are innovating all the time, and you are responsible to only to your students, nobody else, not in the industry. Like you said, many are coming back. So we need to have a concerted effort in colleges to attract more students to teaching, more graduates to teaching. So we encourage, see what is happening is in tier 2 or 3 institutions, they do a BTech. And now they want a better stamp. So they come to a tier 1 institution to do an MTech. And then they go to maybe a tier 2 institution, do an MTech, come to a tier 1 institution for a PhD. So this is how it progresses. So we need to go to class and tell them that teaching is a good profession and be passionate. And we need role models, good teacher role models, which is missing now. Especially I can talk about government institutions. The problem is once you are recruited, you're there forever. That's the basic problem. You are a good teacher or a bad teacher, you're there forever because nobody can throw you out, which is not the case in a private institute. So we have our own limitations, constraints. We cannot be flexible because we have to we have to be within our boundaries. So that's a big problem with faculty. Once you get in with a half an hour interview or a 20-minute interview, there for lifetime, 35 years. So somewhere it has to change. You know, the student feedback system, which is very, very important in a US or in a foreign university, and the tenure track system, where, you know, if you're not performing, you are out. So maybe,
Absolutely.
you know, that, yeah. Thank
Even
you.
in continuation what she has said, there is a topic of a crunch. Even I can have full-time faculty, but still there is a limitation. So what we have also done, we give fellowship for full-time PhD candidates. So what I have done, I have recruited 100 full-time PhD who want to be in academics. And when they are full-time PhD students, we are giving them fellowship of, let's say, 40,000 rupees. With that, they are also taking part in teaching, but they're not going in the main class, they're just going in the lab so that they can be versed with these teaching pedagogy methods and they can be trained. And once they complete their PhD, they can be the best teacher. So that we have done. And apart from this, even in MTech, we have given a responsibility of teaching assistant to our student, which even in India, it's not so popular. If you go to outside India, students during their course are being given responsibility of teaching assistant, where they go and help teachers in their classroom, evaluation of assignments, gradings. With that, they get a lot of understanding that how this teaching works. So these are few methods also we have added to fulfill these
I
kinds.
just want to bring in my panelist, Dr. Gupta here. Dr. Gupta, there's another competition which is within the engineering colleges, you know, itself, the universe, you know. They are headhunting amongst themselves, you know. In this situation, even if you have the best talent, how do you retain, what are the ways you can retain your talent?
Yeah, it is a big challenge retaining the talent because it is just not only recruitment but going for retention. And retention means that we have to work on 360 degree. When we talk about 360 degree, it is not only the competitive packages, it is also a healthy ecosystem, or I would say it is all about happy campus. When we talk about happy campus, it means that my employee should be given value, recognitions. There should be certain developmental programs. And when we talk about developmental programs, it is not only technical development, which is of course required, but it has to be some, for example, leadership development programs, emotional development programs, because finally we need to work on the work-life balance as well as the emotional agility. From the last two sessions, we are working on agility part. So emotional agility of our faculty members is very important. At our university, in Deshbhagat University, this whatever we have done, it was a 7 years long-term, long-term program wherein we worked on all these areas, and I'm very proud to say that we could retain the faculty because they would see that they are here from recruitment to retirement. And when we talk about retirement, we had their gratuity plans. We being in the private universities, self-financed universities, you see, we had their retirement plans, pension plans, reward plans, and when any of the faculties, they are constantly given the incentives, whether it is a innovation incentive or patent incentive or research incentives, or it could be incentives for their good results. So they consider it. They are like family. It has to be a personal touch, I would say. When it is a personal touch, it becomes a family like environment where there is control as well as commitment policies going on. So retaining a, because it's a market driven society, market driven industry, I would say, though very noble cause where we need to be passionate about teaching, but keeping in view the market driven industry, every institution has to work on this. And we being private institutions, being more flexible, I would say, keeping in view whatever is required. So we keep changing our policies for the welfare and benefit of the people. So it is quite comfortable that we take care of our faculty well. And
Right.
then another point is that we organize family programs, for example, Diwali programs for the faculty's families. So it becomes a family in toto. Finally, it is the welfare program along with the cohesion in the environment, positive environment, happy environment, that you are able to retain the faculty along with competitive packages.
Great. Dr. Tiwari, let me ask you a question and then bring in maybe an audience question. Work, I think I heard some people say that the best job jo karna hai is teaching, work-life balance. But then some people say that this is the most hectic, in private universities especially, it's so hectic, you have no time left. How are you making their life easier for your faculty to really enjoy what they're doing?
Teaching for your working career, what I understood from last working experiences, it's not only teaching now. More than that, doing research, as you said, research, innovation, student engagement, it's a heavier task. Dynamics are quite heavy. So there becomes the responsibility of we people as a leadership team. At IILM also we do that. Try to involve them in most of your aspects. Let's understand what their perspective is, what their interest is, what interests them. I generally keep for my organization passion beyond the money also, because I am able to get the faculties, those who are a bit moderately paid, but they are aligning their passion with my organization. So they generally come and join us. If somebody is research driven, I will put them into the research shoes. Let's do things, innovate the things and get certain solutions for the industry as well as for the society with certain sustainable solutions. Similarly, to have them on the pool, I do try to provide them the right set of rewards and the inclusion. When I say inclusion, let them understand all the parameters, all the dynamics that are required for the organization. Let them choose and pick their own one. As professor also said, individuality has to come. So as per focused orientation for an organization, we have divided our categories. Research driven is required, industry connects are required, academic excellence is also non-negotiably it is required. So we do put our faculties onto these shoes. And when I am able to map them up to 90 or 60, 90 or 80%, with the growth of my school or with the growth of my organization, they stay there and they perform really well. So that kind of environment we should try to design for them. And more than that, honor, reward, inclusivity, we should put that thing. Then long-term association, we look into them. As Professor said in the previous words, gratuity is one factor. Then research rewards can be given to these people. Associates, we bring in faculty in the terms of research associates with some good research amounts. They can come, teach, get that grooming done, and can wear the right shoes which are required at the right time. Then similarly, we can say faculties who are MTechs, they can come and start their PhDs. They will be staying there, they will understand the dynamics of your organization. Then they will stay here and they will work in a long time with you people. So that's all that crunches, and we are able to retain that faculties over here. I hope it
Wonderful.
will be helpful.
I think we got the crux is that, of course, there may be some challenges, but there is enough opportunity as well. Also depends how you recruit, what you look at them, and you need to nurture them. Of course, and upgrade actively their skills, right? That's how I think these are the important points. But thank you all for joining us. We are beyond time, but thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.